Hey guys, it's me, your favorite science teacher. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of introduce to you the next thing that we're going to talk about, which is properties of water. And as you can see, I am not at school, I'm actually at my house, and I wanted to kind of show you that you can apply some of this stuff that you think that you learn and are never going to use. You can apply it at home. And so some of the things that I'm going to show you today is stuff that you see at home but don't know that those are properties of water. So here we go. First one that we're going to talk about is water in a liquid state. So water in a liquid state is basically what we drink, whether you know it or not. It's toilet water, water that you bathe with, water that I bathe my dogs with, any type of water in a creek, in a pond, in the ocean, that is water in its liquid form. And of course, you know that there are 3 physical states of matter. So the next one we're going to talk about is located in my freezer, and it is water in its solid state, which is ice. Everybody likes ice. I love ice in my Dr. Pepper. So when water freezes, it will become a solid, and that's how we get ice. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, and ice is created when heat is taken away from water in its liquid state. So there you go, you have ice. When ice begins to melt, it starts turning back into a liquid. So you can see here that I got 3 pieces of ice, and they've been sitting out for a couple of minutes and they're already beginning to melt. And this happens at 0 degrees Celsius as well. But this time, instead of taking away heat, we are adding heat in order for ice to melt. So that's when a solid is becoming a liquid. And that happens again at 0 degrees Celsius. So once it becomes a liquid, then we get water again. And then when water starts to heat up, it will reach a point to where it begins to evaporate. And sometimes you see this at home when mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever's cooking is boiling a pot of water, and you see the steam coming out of the pot. Well, that's called evaporation. This happens at 100 degrees Celsius. So of course this is more than 100 degrees Celsius, but when water begins to boil, that's at 100 degrees Celsius. Well, when that water vapor, which is a gas, begins to cool down, you'll actually start to see, and I don't know if you can see it, but there is some condensation on my microwave from the water vapor that has been cooled and is now little droplets of water, kind of like sweat. But what happens is the gas cools down and it becomes water again, back in its liquid state. So it's just a cycle where water heats up, evaporates, cools down, condensates, cools down more to become a solid. And then once heat is added to that solid, it will begin to be a liquid again. Okay, so let's recap real quick. We talked about properties of water, and we know that there are 3 physical states, solid, liquid, and gas, and when heat is added, that's when water begins to boil, or sometimes solid begins to melt. In our case, we had ice cubes, so those ice cubes began to melt at 0 degrees Celsius, became a liquid, and then it started to boil at 100 degrees Celsius, which then caused the water to evaporate and became a gas called water vapor. Now, when that water vapor cools, it's going to condensate, which causes the little droplets of water around your cups, or sometimes on the microwave, the little droplets of water after my water was boiling. And then as we are taking away more heat, that's when it becomes a liquid. And if we take enough heat away from that liquid, it's going to end up freezing at 0 degrees Celsius as well. So I really hope you liked my video. I know you heard my dogs. They're running around crazy, and one day you'll probably get to meet them.